Kasauli, a beautiful town filled with lush green rolling hills, the beauty of which far exceeds your diminishing phone storage. On the eve of my 18th birthday, I wanted two things. One, to be alone. I know, how brooding of me. And two, to go somewhere far from a place with a soundtrack of car horns. And since I had to be back in a day and a half, and well, thus Spain was ruled out, I went to Kasauli instead. Well, little did I know, that would be a trip that would change my life. Now, Kasauli and other hill stations have a reputation for being the perfect places for a weekend getaway. An escape from the overdose of noise and pressures faced during life back here in the city. Now, this got me thinking about the whole concept and the importance of a getaway. Because, well, that's what I was after myself. So come with me for a getaway from time and come with me to Kasauli. Now on your journey to Kasauli, you'll have to make your way up through the long and winding mountain roads. Well, I for one, am glad to have grown out of my childhood habit of puking anytime a road has more than 5 bendy turns in a space of 5 minutes. Because now I can fully take in the beautiful views that surround me. The usual way to Kasauli is by taking a flight or a train ride to the nearest airport or train station respectively, located 60 kilometers away in Chandigarh, the capital of Punjab in Haryana, or 40 kilometers away in the town of Kalka. But after that, the real fun begins, the road trip. Now if you ask me, I say it's almost a must to roll down your windows when you're rolling through the hills and stick your hand out to feel the cool, crisp air brushing against your skin. The natural air conditioner no piece of technology can ever really come close to. The only downside to the ride though is the cliff edges without the protection of a divider, especially when the roads become too thin for comfort as you start to flirt with the fall. But nevertheless, I was slowly falling in love with the place. And hey, what is love without a little bit of danger? Now, if you're from India and have had the pleasure of taking one of these road trips to a hill station, then you, my friend, are about to join me in a tradition which, well, then you too have probably already partaken in. And if you're not from India, well, then feel free to join us, as no road trip to the hills is complete without a national staple, Maggie. Now, as per my estimations, I have probably been responsible for around quarter of the revenue Maggie has generated. I've been scolded countless times by my mother for eating way too much Maggie, whoops. Often eating the raw noodles and the special masala powder, my drug of choice. But this experience of eating Maggie was like no other, as I have never ever had Maggie in the company of such a beautiful view. I took my hot plate of Maggie and made my way towards the seating place. And by seating place I mean a flat piece of rock which could fit my ass. And when I looked up, well, I saw this view. You can already see how beautiful it is, I don't need to describe it. And by the way, I'm not just saying this for the video, but that was generally the best plate of Maggie I've ever had. Trust me, as a connoisseur of the art. They say it's about the journey and not the destination, which, by the way, a lot of the times is a load of bollocks. But in this case, this journey was something to write home about. And eventually, after 7 short hours, I reached my destination, Kasauli. Upon reaching Kasauli, you should make your way towards Mall Road. After parking your car in the adjoining car park, a little stroll and Mall Road reveals itself to you. This is as loud as it gets in this otherwise quiet town. There's something for everyone here. As the name suggests, there's an abundance for the shoppers, so mothers, there you go. There's quite a lot of tiny stalls to eat, including the famous bun samosa of Kasauli, so kids, there you go. And dads, the first thing I saw on entering Mall Road was a liquor store, so hey, sneak away for a bit and meet your friends Jack and Daniel. You should start your exploring by paying a visit to the Christ Church, situated right at the start of Mall Road. It feels like a time capsule back to the colonial Victorian past. The church was consecrated in 1857 and has stood the test of time ever since. I examined the beautiful structure, the pastel colours and the Gothic architecture. and I sat inside for half an hour, trying my best to ignore the people taking constant pictures, by the way, with the flash on, despite the very simple and clear no photography sign outside. After that, as sunset was nearing, I made my way to start the climb to Sunset Point. I must say, hills are about the journey because the walk up with the cool wind was so good that I almost forgot to pant from the tiredness of the climb. But I must warn you, on your way you will be greeted by monkeys. No, not a monkey, monkeys. Lots of monkeys. And despite my dedication to place the camera down to get more cinematic walking shots of me, I was sensible and, well, scared enough not to do that just in case the monkey is in need of a new iPhone. On the way up, you walk past the charming Kasauli club on your right and the tennis courts to your left. As I finally reached up close to Sunset Point, I was ready for the place to live up to its name, to witness the best sunset I have ever seen. And once I reached it, my word, was it beautiful. Is what I would have said if there was one. Yup, not much of a sun to set is there. But you know what, let's edit in a nice sun over there and let me describe the image to you as if we did see the sunset. Okay, here we go. So as you can see, the wonderful sunset, the sun which is setting, the sun, as you can see, round, spherical, as we have been educated that it is, leaving beautiful orange hues in the sky, as it tends to do. Sometimes it leaves pink hues. Yup, as you can see, I was clearly struggling. But hey, nevertheless, when you have such beautiful views like this, the lack of a clear round sun slowly hiding beneath the horizon is not necessary. Now on my way back to Mall Road, as I was walking, I noticed a small alleyway with a sign outside for Tibetan food. Lovely, so I went towards it. I was greeted by this beautiful restaurant called the Taste of Tibet, and it was a restaurant cum clothing store, and ordered a plate of what they recommended to me, mutton momos. Now, despite my lean frame, I love my food and I love my momos. And sometimes I believe the best way to enjoy your food is screw the manners and how much of a behemoth animal you might look and just get stuck in violently. The mince and the sheer juiciness of those pockets of joy was something which you must try. Later on, I started to make conversation with the owner of the store, an old Tibetan man whose name, I admit, was a little too long and a little too complicated for me to catch. Well, little did I know, the next hour would be something that I would remember for the rest of my life. In October 1950, the Chinese had surrounded the capital of Tibet, Lhasa. He, his family and other members of the village managed to narrowly escape, and for a month and a half had to make their way through the bitter winter. They didn't have much money, so no one could afford proper boots, and their feet would turn black from the frostbite. When an older person would ask to sit and rest for 10-15 minutes and he'd go back to call them, they were already dead. After this, he finally reached Kalimpong in West Bengal, and from there on went to Shimla, the capital of Himachal Pradesh, and finally, 50 years ago, reached Kasauli. When I asked him about how it's like living there, I understood that for us it's this perfect weekend getaway destination. But for them, it is their home, and it's not always easy living there. Water shortages are very common, and despite being a popular tourist destination, Kasauli still lacks an adequate number of public toilets. There's only one hospital in the area, the Army Hospital, as Kasauli is a cantonment area. But after 7 p.m, the doctors go home, and on Sundays, the hospital remains closed altogether, leaving the nearest one 25 kilometers away. We don't notice it staying in our pretty little cottages with pretty views and heated water anytime we want. But for the people living in these towns, this is the reality. After an hour and a half of talking about life, I went to pay my bill, and he denied taking a single penny. And I'll never forget what he said. He was a little emotional, and he said that I'm just an old man who even listens to our stories. But you, someone so young, you listen to my story. Everyone's got a story to tell, and, well, I'm glad I listened to his. A couple of days back, I had written a note to my friend for his 18th birthday, when I was myself going through a tough time. So in a way, I was sort of writing a birthday note to myself. And I wrote, birthdays are usually associated with the idea of growing older and hopefully getting wiser. But to me, sometimes this may seem sad, a reminder of time passing by. So I want you to see this, especially since you're turning 18, as a chance to be reborn. Be a fool, make mistakes, explore, and be open to the bad experience. Because somewhere along the line, you may end up with something beautiful. A beacon of opportunity awaits, and a plate full of experiences lie ahead. Approach it with an empty stomach and childlike wonder. Be amazed by the smallest things. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Be good, do good, and leave something good behind. Happy birthday. Today is the first day of the rest of your days. Why is it that we could maybe feel a deeper presence of self and something we can't understand in places like these in the hills? Maybe it's because we're surrounded by what the soul desires, nature itself. The clouds are perched next to you, the rays of the sun feel closer but more familiar, giving view to arguably the most beautiful feature of all, the trees on the rolling hills. The sheer number and expanse of it overwhelms you in the most beautiful way imaginable. The trees seem to be welcoming you and guiding you on your journey. It's times like this you truly remember and realize that the earth belongs to nature. We are merely temporary inhabitants of this unbelievably beautiful planet. The earth started with nature, it survives nature, and it will cease to exist with nature. The next morning, on that familiar date, the 28th of October, I left. It's been 2 months since then. The impact those 36 hours had on me hit me more as time passes. I wonder if I'll ever meet that man again. Will I even know the name of the person who has made a small change in the way I see the world? But maybe the beauty of it lies and stays in what I had that day. Maybe I'm not supposed to go back and just keep the memory box the way it is. Because I'll never forget looking out from the balcony at all the trees, and for once, my mind felt blank. There were no bad thoughts. I was a part of nature. I felt good about myself. I felt something I can't describe. I went to Kasauli searching for something. Searching for truth, searching for contentment, searching for freedom, searching for an answer. And I think I know where to find it. Because the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.